Welcome everyone
to our Youth Week 2021 podcast series. Today we're going to be talking about what is your utopia, and we're going to ask each of you guys what is the change you guys want to see within your community and how we as young people can make that change happen. You already know who we are, so I'm Karah, that's Lizzie. Would you guys like to go around and just introduce yourself starting?
My name's Natalie, I'm 17 and I'm autistic.
I'm Odette, I'm 17 and I'm pansexual.
I'm Jade, I'm 17 and I'm a proud Bundjalung woman.
Thank you all for being here today.
So before we get started, it's a tradition in our youth advocate meetings that Lizzie starts our meetings with one of her dad jokes. So we thought, just before we kind of get into it, she tells you guys one of her jokes.
Okay, so how does a monkey cook a feed at the zoo? Under the gorilla.
Oh.
I want to start by asking, why did you want to be a part of this project?
I wanted to be part of this project because last year I was also part of Youth Week 2020. Secondly is because I would like to advocate for those on the autism spectrum, particularly for women, because they usually don't get diagnosed until a later age because of something called masking. So it's basically I'm doing it on their behalf.
I just wanted to be a part of it because I thought it was such a good platform to advocate for things like disability and sexuality.
I wanted to be a part of it to advocate for people with cerebral palsy and mental health issues. And yeah, I thought it would be a great way to advocate.
So going into kind of our first question, guys, what change do you guys want to see in the world or even just in your community? We'll start with Jade.
Less discrimination against people with disabilities and mental health issues. More resources for them, and yeah, just like stuff like that.
So like going off that, what is kind of like your connection to, if I don't mind asking, like what's your connection to the mental health disability? Why is that so important for you?
Well, I have cerebral palsy, I have general anxiety disorder, OCD, and social anxiety. So it's very close to home. And I've experienced a lot of discrimination. So I want to try to get all that destroyed pretty much.
What about you, Odette?
Pretty much on the same page with Jade, like advocate for like mental health and like disability, yeah.
I know you said that you want to advocate for, sexuality and whatnot, and before when you introduce yourself as pansexual, what would you like to change within, the discrimination against people with that in their sexuality?
I guess just more general inclusivity and awareness around some of the sexualities that aren't very much talked about.
Natalie?
For me, it's mostly just getting across the discrimination against autism and autistic people because they are perceived by the media as, you can say, dumb, they're not capable of doing anything, they can't speak, walk, talk, as some medical professionals say. And then some of these kids like me are able to speak out, especially to the community. With one change in particular, I would like to focus on how the New South Wales education curriculum currently has community and family studies as a Year 12 only option. I would like to expand that as well to use kindergarten to Year 10 and fit it in the PDHP community. So because of how much that subject has benefited me, especially including disability in youth. I think that topic should be expanded to like each year group at a suitable level.
Sometimes thinking about the change we want to see in the world can feel overwhelming and we can feel helpless. So we want to bring it in a little because change can start from the smallest of actions. Before everyone sat down today, we asked you to pick 2 cards that reflect some of your strengths. So we want to ask you how might you be able to use those strengths, or how you are already using those strengths to bring about the change you want to see in your community.
The 2 cards that I have are confident and inspiring. I recently did a speech where I illustrated for an animation called Timmy the Turtle, where autistic people are employed to do illustrations, voice acting for primary school children. I did confident and inspiring because that was what I was told when I did a 5-minute speech about my experiences and disability with autism. And a lot of people said that they were emotional and proud of me. So it's more being told, look, you're doing something, your speech has impacted me, and it really makes me happy that I'm starting to make a change somewhat with people, and I hope to continue to do that.
So I chose adaptive and I guess perseverance. And I guess I'm more like willing to see some change and ready to adapt and like get into that change. Yep.
Mine are empathetic and inclusive. As I empathize with many people and about their experiences, and I'm inclusive of everyone, no matter your age, height, sexual orientation, disabilities or whatnot. And yeah, I think that these 2 would help me in my life to in this, as they're pretty important.
Well, thank you guys for sharing. Kind of before we wrap up, I just want to hear from 1 or 2, actually, let's just do all of you. If you could say one message to someone in power, what would you say? We'll start with Natalie.
Is to make more considerations to people with disability and fight more for the bullying that is happening in school grounds. Even though your website claims to be anti-bullying, there is still bullying, particularly in the autistic community. So bullying should be stepped up against people with disabilities.
I guess just try to be more inclusive within your policies and like legislations, and yeah.
Just to be more inclusive of different disabilities, different sexual orientations, different ethnicities and everything, because what you are right now isn't as inclusive, and you need to work on that in our experience.
It's been so inspiring to speak to you all today. We have spoken about so much.
I just want to say thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for showing up today, sharing your voice, your stories, and your wisdom. And tune in tomorrow for the next episode.